So it's not like either one are, you know, unfamiliar to the spotlight either, as this ball comp from Winthrop could be extremely dangerous.
Yeah, and also, by the way, it's the second weekend in a row here for Overwatch 2, and also the second week for CECC, and the second weekend in a row that we will get to see Perks and Gable since he wasn't able at the start of Season 15. So this will be interesting to see what these teams have built up since that start of the tournament. And already, dive composition from Winthrop. How about a wrecking ball just kind of going up in the air, shooting him down, but Zara takes care of the rest. 30 more down. That's already a soldier down as well, too. So this is just all Winthrop at the start.
Yeah, and this is why this Wrecking Ball comp is just so hard to play against, because Infected will knock you all over God's creation, and then Sam and Zera are just able to be there for the finish. Especially Zera has been in incredible form as of late. That time around, though, Manuel is able to get the first pick.
Manuel gets first pick, though, so that starts them off pretty well, but we'll have to see if they can take over the point from this point on, as the Lucio falling oh so low, who gets the better of it. Good thing you got Pantera. That doesn't need to really aim, so long as the Genji's within sight of your screen. You got some good damage going on to him, and Peace is going to make do with both of the healers in the backline, so just as quickly as Winthrop gets it, Bryant is trying to get it.
Yeah, just like that, only 21%, and that is the only big downside of this comp, is that if the first blood is against you instead of for you, it can be really hard sometimes to get those fights back. And Sam again taken out first.
By the way of a bio nade coming from Proto as well, and I can tell you what, if Proto gets the bouncing bio nades, watch out. There could be a lot of purples in the future here, but they changed this around though. Winthrop's able to get both set and manually too, so despite what was a very good start thanks to a bio nade from Proto, you needed another one to save the rest of your team here. Winthrop's going to get it back.
Yeah, Liar is so aggressive in how they play Lucio. We already saw how quick they will go around and try and find those frags. Liar has the sound barrier available. Nano as well for Winthrop. Nothing else so far for them. And Bryant Stratton, they have the Nano Blade almost online. It's just a matter if that sound barrier will cancel it out or not.
They got the Wrecking Ball inside of the room already. So many people so low here. And this Lucio falling low as well. Nano Boost available, and that will go onto Zera. Good thing you got a sound barrier, even though Zera slept. But Zera gets manually in for that. But again, these fights are just so quick that even ultimates like a Nano Boost and sound barrier going through is just way too quick.
Yeah, these fights are legit 3-5 seconds, and then it's already done. You can see some perks already going online for some players of Winthrop. I wonder if they would want the sound barrier back, because this Nano Blade or the Nano onto Pantera to be able to use the Primal Raids after could be a nice little setup, as the Bobcats have yet to use an ult.
Don't really have anything to use as of yet, but now they have 4 check marks on the board. They will boost up manually here alongside of an extended clip from this Sojourner as well, just trying to build this up. Can you find any shots? You do find one onto Sam Chovies, and now Seth's going to have to use the sound barrier in a 4-4 situation. Ultraviolet's low. Manuel's got to hit a shot here, which they do, but it goes down thanks to Zero on the trade. Blade's going to get pulled here from Keys, but it felt like this fight might have already been in their favor regardless, unless the Wrecking Ball and Trace want to cause havoc here. This Genji falling also low gets slammed down and pays the price dearly for using that Blade in the first place. Bryant Stratton do get it back, but they're going to be down to that here.
They will be down, and also, yeah, overclock. Same trophies comes back, trying to find one, and not even find one yet. Does eventually find it though, and these mines on point really threw a wrench into this plan from BSCVA.
Yeah, and they're not even going to be able to touch either. They were at 97%. Overtime clock hits. There's not a soul in this game that can touch that point, unless it's a Genji that just comes out of nowhere. But Foundate ends up that all hope. Next up is the Winston, but gets booped away. Primal Rage doesn't even get a save there thanks to Liar, and that's going to be Winthrop 146 to start off here on the night market.
Yeah, and this Wrecking Ball combo, it does help that you have Infected on tank if you're Winthrop. Arguably the best Wrecking Ball player in NA, and you see why Winthrop, like, hey, why does what is lean on it, because running the Sombra right now. We've seen Sombra here and there, but it's not like we see Sombra a ton, and it's not even worth it, I would imagine, for BSCVA right now to take manually or Peace off of the Genji, Sojourn, DPS line, because it is also so good.
5, 4, 3.
Right now, might find any stability here. Winthrop's just trying, or rather, I should say, Bryant Stratton trying to find any stability as of right now, but they got to find it, and they got to find it quickly because they're running out of time here. Matter of fact, it's got to be well off and finding these first picks, but they're not going to be able to even find a first pick here. Manually goes down early, but they trade that out for the far right away as Peace and Zero will match up here. Pantera almost gets knocked off the map, but instead will die to the hands of Sam Chovy. So this will be looking like a fight win here for Winthrop, because especially when Sam Chovy gets through.
Yeah, when Sam Chovy pops off like this, it's really hard to try and even push in, because you have this comp especially, you have damage coming in from all different angles. You got Zera in the air, Sam Chovy is usually taking a side angle from Infected, rolling everybody around, and then you have to worry about the bio nades as well. Pantera will eventually swap, they will go over to the D.Va, maybe to help a little bit with the peel and with Zera, but already Prota's dead.
Yeah, already Prota is dead, so Infected, that headshot means that you have no more healing left, and for Bryant Stratton, this is basically a back-off scenario here. You're not finding anything at the moment, and right now, it's just, this feels a little bit different, but Proto able to take care of Zera, and this is a sleep dart perk as well, so really doing here either no slows, but if you do land that sleep dart, oh boy, I mean, that could be trouble for you, as Bryant Stratton will go ahead and take the point on over, but, I mean, Winthrop right now, you know they can do this quickly.
Oh, especially with this comp, you can go in and out, and this point can be flipped in, 5 seconds, it feels like, as Nano online here for Ultraviolet, and the self Nano is in for the major perk for Ultraviolet. So when they launch this, also a little bit of extra stability for them.
Looking to see if they can find anything going here for Bryant Stratton, but there's so many low health bars here. Sam Chovy and Infected are all going down. Or rather, take the picks that they've got, and they're going to run with it here. So, I mean, it's just Bryant Stratton tried their best. They were able to hold on to the point for a little while, but much like the first point there, Winthrop takes them over.
Yeah, I think their game plan there was to try and just isolate Liar and Ultraviolet, and then they actually just didn't get the picks that they needed. Even though, yes, the Ana isn't able to see the rest of the team, Infected and Zero still able to clean up the fight. And this was a very early mine. Zero kind of sticks around a little bit too long, too. This could be winnable here for BSC.
Could be winnable, but manually taking down Zera, and that's one of the big picks. However, you still have Sam Chovy's up on a overclock real quickly, but Winthrop knows they can't fight without it right now, so they back up for the moment. Here comes Infected, best wrecking ball players in the nation, but Bryant Stratton still taking it on over overclock. Popped first by manually, who also gets down boosted. Pantera's back into mech here after 8. And there is a big boop off from Peace. And that's big, because Sam Chovy is now gone after using the overclock too. So Liar using that sound barrier goes basically for nothing too. Bryant Stratton off of one environmental and one sleep dart kill goes big.
Yeah, that's an okay spot. No, they can try and stagger this fight out. They're able to pick off Ultraviolet. As Infected tries to maybe find an exit frag, or they're not able to quite yet. Massive boop to deny everything from that overclock from Sam Chovy's, and like you said, that sound barrier didn't get a whole lot done. Liar now swaps over to the Brig to try and help out Ultraviolet a little bit more, and these dives from Pantera as well, maybe a little bit easier to help keep, to allow Infected to stay up just a little bit longer.
Final fight territory here between Winthrop and Bryant Stratton. A little bit of a dangerous spot here, but that is going to be a slowdown onto the Wrecking Ball as well, who can only escape for so much. But a rocket barrage from Peace while moving. That's deadly combination. That's both of the supports down. Last chance scenario, Infected and Zero, the only two that can touch this point right now. Even the concussive blast that goes, that brings him back in, and that blade is stopped by Peace on a direct hit. Last chance for Lucio to get in, gets booped away, much like Liar did to the team. Set does it this time. Map number 3 between number 2 and 6.
Yeah, we will go all the way to round 3, and this is the one that you could argue the Wrecking Ball can get a little more tricky and a little bit more predictable if they decide to keep it, because it will be control center for round 3. Historically, a little bit more rush orientated. This is when we'll see maybe the Mauga comps come out. But what a little turnaround there from BSCVA. I think they're understanding and realizing that due to how Winthrop want to play this Wrecking Ball, either Sam Chovy's or Zera can occasionally be left completely alone out of LOS from Ultraviolet, and they're really taking advantage, finding those opening frags in that way. It is just trying to figure out the rest of the fight. Winthrop will stick to the Wrecking Ball. Liar goes back over to Lucio, but BSCVA, they go all in on this Mauga comp.
Yeah, they're going to go all in here because you have a little bit more of an enclosed space, not like open like the Gardens is or the Night Market kind of is, depending on where you are fighting, but Mauga a little bit more enclosed and already getting slept down. Pantera is out of the fight for only a couple of moments, but those moments are enough for Liar and Zero to go right around Malga and just take care of business. Point's going to unlock, but Winthrop much to do with the first map, able to quickly take it.
See, this is the interesting conversation I think a lot of teams are having right now with the way perks are set up. So in Control, like, you keep it from round to round. So even though, yes, BSVA, they made these wholesale swaps and they'll gain that skill percentage faster, I do think it's a little bit more difficult to try and figure out how you want to play it, because Winthrop, they have all their perks except for Liar. For BSVA, they're kind of playing catch-up for Proto and Pantera.
Yeah, now trying to see, good pull in there from the knife of Pantera. Make sure Zera doesn't feel comfortable at all, and this team is just going to dive right on in onto that Sojourn. Just have some help in the background, though, because there is the Wrecking Ball just holding them on for a little while. Nobody close to an ultimate yet. Good Bionade onto Peace as well. Peace has to deflect their tier line. Is able to hold on to it. Now it's a stop error from Liar to see if this team can come back in, because Zera's going to be back in a couple of seconds. Back, he's already in, and Liar, Soundwave able to take care of manually. Yes, BSC is able to take the point and able to flip it their way, but they're not going to be able to hold it on for much longer here. That somehow gets away, by the way, and it will still live to see the tail, maybe even stall out this point here. But Proto going down, manually finds Liar, but it's still not going to be enough unless Set can get back to the point, which they will not, so it's back to Winthrop.
I wonder if they take a quick re-engage here, though. As soon as they get Proto back, yes, Liar is also very quick to get back to this point, but that could be the opener.
There's your quick opener right there. Peace has got 2 already. Overclock not needed, though. Darrow is able to take care of manually.
What?
Blade versus Blade. Who's got it over the edge? It's going to be Peace. Over the edge of the map. It's a 1v1 that you can clip. Peace wins it. Bryant Stratton get it back.
What in the hell was that? That was unbelievable from Peace and Zera. Peace is able to get the fight and the clip on top of it. And now as BSVA move on forward, they're going to have the Rampage from Pantera. They have the Sound Barrier here to try and deny the overclock value. They could be able to snowball this a little bit.
Gets the strike off, at least for the nano boost. That's going to go on to the Sojourn here of Sam Chovis. Now it's going to be the Rampage. Rampage finds 2. Ultraviolet and Zera in a whole lot of trouble, bleeding away. But Ultraviolet going down doesn't mean that the other 2 go down as well. Pantera and Peace getting melted. But Bryant Stratton looking to see if they can keep this in play. Proto takes care of Sanchovis. This is a really, really scrappy fight on either end, but look who's alive in this case right now. Set just trying to stall at the point. So is this Moira, who does have a fade available, but not going to be able to use it in time because of Zera taking down that pick. It's also, they're chasing down Set, but Set's able to get away scot-free yet again. Still building up the ultimate, still fights here. Bryant Stratton still hold on to this point. There goes Peace down. No more anime fights coming this time around. It's all Zera to cover. They get the trade off on the Liar. But it's still the shots for shots, blow for blow here. If you're Bryant Stratton, you're loving this right now because that means you're stalling out the point. Mines come out from Infected to see if they can flip this point in the meanwhile, but they're still not able to because it looks like Set's right all over Zera right now, and Sam Chovis still falling out to low health. Sound Barrier available for Liar. Zera has another blade available. Peace halfway to it. Winthrop finally looking like they can get the pieces to win this fight, which they will. They finally get the flip.
Eventually, yes, but look how far BSCVA are able to get this. 92%. They turned this from maybe this map already being over. If Winthrop were able to cap it quickly to now, they have enough time to reset and try and go at this one more time. Yes, you have to deal with the Sound Barrier and Blade coming in from Winthrop shortly, and that is not how you can start that fight.
Not at all. You got Bionated there too with the blade out from Zera. Zera's going to get at least 1 for it. That's a 3-kill scenario here for Bryant Stratton. Not what you want. You also have to keep Set up too, because Set's probably your only chance to touch the point and have a chance at it. Bryant Stratton have a shot, but they're not going to be able to touch at all. I don't think they've got it. Yep, they do not. So Winthrop, by the skin of their teeth, is able to turn it back 192 on Control Center. They start off the series 1-0.
But now you would think, yeah, I had a feeling we were going to a map like this. AKA, do not let Infected play ball if possible. That's literally how I'm guessing they tried to go at this. Force them to go on to something else. This team historically can be very good, whether on these kind of maps. Yes, you do have to worry about the Widow factor with Zera, and I understand that. But I do think this is a pretty decent map pick here for BSCVA if they at least want to get away from Winthrop playing the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, they're going to try to at least see what they can do to counter out this Wrecking Ball and circuit around. Not a bad place to do it, although I have seen a few Wrecking Balls here just wreck shop, if you will. And if anybody's going to do it, well, Winthrop can be the one to do it. Infected can be the one to do it. But See what Circuit Real provides here is, again, both of these teams looking for that final slot in the top 4 of the CECC May Madness coming up May 2nd through 4th at Esports Stadium, Arlington. So see which one of these teams can do it. Bryant Stratton stays on the red side, which means they're attacking first. Winthrop on the defending end, and Winthrop going with the less conventional pick. The only 2 you would say from the more the basic style, I guess, of this map would be the Zera on the Widow and Liar on the Zenyatta. Otherwise, you've got Ramattra, you've got Sojourn, you've got Ana here too. Bryant Stratton looking at the Sigma at the very least.
Yeah, BSCVA, I would say the modern version of the old school circuit comp. A lot of players actually playing Alari over the Zen because of the extra utility, but that is a very quick pickoff here for BSCVA.
That's a quick pick, and they're going to be able to make so much space out of that, especially with not having to worry about Zera for only a couple of moments to get back. But that's a very important corner to get around. Now you're playing at least one more here in this fight, looking for the head of the Sojourn on the other end. Ultraviolet, though. Genji, someone saying the Genji's worst nightmare. A bio nade to the face. That's piece gone and dusted for this fight, making it back, but don't peek out around the corner here, and the Widow's got the last chance to take their head off. Pylon goes down, so less healing coming up for Bryant and Stratton. Pantera falling oh so low, and this team can only do so much to heal up right now. Find any semblance of a headshot. Pylon goes down yet again. Immortality field gone. Here comes the dive from Proto to maybe see if they can disrupt, or excuse me, from Peace to see if they can take down anything. The accretion down, or at least showing up base for right now around the corner. Ramattra's just going to go right into the back line here. Just going to dive right in. Already has the Annihilation. It's able to take down Peace. They built that ult so quickly here, and that's going to be Winthrop just winning this fight out.
It's such a long fight. Like, it just seemed like BSCVA, no matter what, they could not push past that corner. And Winthrop had it down. And that's the advantage of going the Ramattra, is that those kind of chokes can really go in your favor. Window, though. The Widows are traded. I'm not sure they're able to build anything much greater than that, though, from it, as both support ults are online. For Winthrop, well, just one available, though.
Well, only one available, and bigger thing there, too, is no more Discord Orb. However, you have a nano-boosted Ramattra in your backline. That Ravenous Vortex eats up Proto, so a nano-boosted Ramattra is the way to win this. However, Gravitic Flux was used by Pantera to see if there's anything available for a win out here. Pantera can't take care of the Sojourner Samchovis, and Winthrop holds on yet again.
And Set did go off of the Alari. Now they're on to the Zen, so matching supports there, but it is still the Ana versus the Baptiste. I think in this case, I'd maybe go with the Bat, but Infected is okay. I actually don't mind this, but this could get a little, because Pantera swapped to try and match the Ram, and then the insta-swap comes in.
Yeah, insta-swap going in for Infected to go on over for Reinhardt instead, knowing that Pantera wanted the match up, but instead, its punches being thrown through that shield, piercing through. Last meter, by the way, nobody touching except for this is Reinhardt that's on. Good thing you had a Transcendence just in the nick of time. A pin piece is pinned down, back to the wall, but it's also this Reinhardt in a lot of trouble as well. Last meter, and no more Transcendence either to save, but Infected still getting a Fire Strike off. A switch from the Ram, not to match, but to win a fight here. It'll back up, less than a minute left to go for BSC.
Yeah, because every single time BSC think they have part of this fight going their way, Infected is able to make a play. And that kid is, yeah, a little courageous, but why not? With the form they're playing, well, that's maybe why. You should at least think twice about it. Manually takes them out, and this could get interesting for Winthrop, but they have the nano available to stall.
Nano available, but who would you nano in this case? Sam Chovis doesn't even have anything going. They're going to nano the Zenyatta here to see if Liar can do any damage to this team, but the Transcendence is also up at the same time. While Peace is also going to pull off the blade at the same time to take care of Sam Chovis, take care of Ultraviolet. Doesn't even need to peek the Widow at this point. If the Widow wants to touch, that is dangerous zone. Only got one left to go, which is that Reinhardt. Good deflect onto Sarah as well. Peace takes care of the back line. BSC get another 2.5.
Yeah, and this is just the nature of this map. Is these, if they can get these staggers, it'd be great for BSCV. But yeah, no, I think it's a little too risky with the respawns coming in. But Peace does not care at all. Oh. And it forces out the Transcendence, so it's at least you get something out of it, but that is a very risky overplay for BSC.
Yeah, big risk, no reward for BSC as Pantera Peace going down there. They're going to have to reset. This is one of the bad things about this map here. If you're going to lose a fight on the downhill, you got to work your way back up. And against a team like Winthrop, they're going to take every advantage of it. Sam Chovis taking down Set. No more Orb of Discord to worry about. Manuel's half health already thanks to just one Bionade. Be looking for a jump shot. See if you get one. No, lands up short. However, Peace taking care of Liar, so that's good news. Again, no Orb of Discord on the side of Winthrop, so BSC has the advantage to push right on in, even if Peace is gone. Pantera also getting a bouncy nade, or getting a Bionade on, I should say. I love just saying bouncy nade, because that's my favorite perk out of Ana. Some can disagree with me, but I still love it.
I think it's one of the most fun out there.
A nade is one of the most fun. You land 2 nades, it's so much fun, right? You hear just the purple going twice, it's so much fun there. But now, minute 20 on the clock is it'll be Proto using that window. Last time it was only to cover one corner. This time it's to get them up the hill and even around the corner as well. Great placement for the window, but Winthrop is able to kite off just in the nick of time and is able to save themselves. Ultraviolet does have the Nano Boost. That's the only ultimate on the board. Peace Bionated out, back down to half health. Nano boosted up. That's going to be on to Soldier. Samchovies has the ultimate. Overclock is up, and Overclock might hit one. That's going to be Samchovies getting one. Another one onto the Zenyatta. 3 final blows for the Soldier, and that will wrap things up on this fight with less than a minute left to go.
I think it's really interesting how often teams are now nanoing the Soldiers. That is just disgusting. That is straight rude, good sir. As Manually just trying to get out of spawn and gets tapped and go right back into the respawn timer. And that just stalls us out even more. Manually will go off of the Widow. They will match the Sojourn, but it will be pretty hard to build an ultimate in this case. Dragon Strike available here for Winthrop. And they're going to have so much here. It's going to be really hard, honestly, for BSC to push.
Yeah, Manually, Pantera right now, both Bionated out. Dragon Strike is going to split them, but there's going to be the Transcendent Use from Set, which you would say very early on, because Infected still has the Annihilation to use, waits for it to be used, and then goes ahead and uses it to take down Set almost immediately to melt away. East does have a blade in the back line. You don't have to worry about a Transcendence anymore. Good deflection there. Takes care of the Zenyatta, looking for the Hanzo in the back to slash away, but that, or jump away just in the nick of time.
Don't see 9.
But still,
see
it
9.
is do not see 9. They see 9! They cleared off the point. Peace chase, but the point was completely ignored. The payload sits there. Bryant Stratton looking right at it. A C9. All the misery.
Oh my god.
That's pain. That's pain and suffering.
Compartmentalized right there, ladies and gentlemen. I had a feeling it could happen because, well, if you watch us here at CECC and EsportsU events, we're cursed. But B, I was surprised the overtime ticker even started. I think it was just enough of a touch from Peace before he went in to keep going with Blade. And I have a feeling they thought somebody else was going to be able to keep touching, more than likely Pantera, and Pantera was trying to get back up, but can't. And that's so much pain. That's just so much pain.
Yeah, I feel like we are as much cursed as Necro is with the C9.
Yeah.
Yep. I have to say it, but it feels like that's on the docket right now. We've had a C9, we've had a 2-1 Li Zhong, and it's still, oh boy. We're going through it here from a 2-1 to a C9. Oh boy, this is not the thing I had in mind here for this game, but Bryant Stratton looking to defend on their side. 5 seconds left until we unlock here. Pretty much the similar motions on either side of what they had earlier on. So let's see what they can do with it already. East fell a little bit low for everyone's liking there, but is able to just heal right back up. And that's going to take the quick advantage here around the corner, not even worrying about a Widow that might peek around. Instead, Zera tries to do the hop shot above the roof. Nothing there. Now, a great Bionade off the Peace, and Pantera from who knows where is able to find the Bionade, holds them off for a couple of moments, making more space here. Rhoda had to through the Immortality field. That's out for a couple of moments. Samchovies right into the face of Manually, says hello, goodbye. Trades that out for Samchovies immediately, but the way the spawns work right now, advantage goes back to Winthrop.
Yeah, and at this point, if you are BSVA, you just have to try and hold this corner. This is where Winthrop held for so long. So this is where you got to try and hold. I will say Ultraviolet is the unsung hero of this series so far. These nades have been absolutely unreal, and again, Peace continues to get punished on these engages.
Looking for at least another Bionade. Peace gets punished, but it's going to be enough to hold on because they know they can hold around this corner for right now. Pantera at 60%, Infected at 53, both Annihilations. Proto's going to have a window to use almost immediately after this, but probably is going to need to pop it if they want any chance. This does so, but Proto pays dearly for it. Infected's just going to run right through the window and take down Set. That's both of your supports down. So Peace is going to make some kind of miracle happen here in the back line for them to have a chance, which it won't happen. Plenty of time on the board. Put 5 minutes on for Winthrop.
Yeah, Winthrop are rolling now. Ever since it seems like the wind just got taken out of the sails of the Bobcats, it has been all Winthrop, and they have the ults to do it. They didn't have to use anything. And these staggers continue to come in, Keegan. Manuelly's taken out, and Set is stuck in such an awkward position right now. It seems like they might be okay. Tinkovi's is actually the one that's a little deep.
Yeah, Samchovis goes into that side room. Never want to stick there with a Genji, but Genji finding 2 of the moments. They lose 1, and then Process. They're also going to use a nano boost here, thinking Infected can do something, but Infected's also bionated out. Infected finds 2, meanwhile. Can they take care of it? Probably won't be able to. Pantera's then forced to use the Annihilation to force out at least Infected. So they're going to just keep trading blows here. But the better question is who's going to win it out, and Pantera goes down. The hands of Zero Peaks trades that out, but I mean, if you're Winthrop, taking care of that very early on, and Annihilation will work out in your favor. Samchovis brings out the overclock, takes down manually, but Proto's able to take care of that. Blade gets pulled out from Peace. The Transcendence cancels that out right away, but if you're Bryant Stratton, you're breathing a huge sigh of relief right now.
Yeah, they just needed to not lose in that moment. Infected comes back on the Wrecking Ball. They do get the touch. They've learned their lesson from their attack. But Set's already gone, and they have no ultimates for either side right now. That's just how much of a deathmatch it's turned into.
Complete dry fight here. Peace is able to take care of Samchovis on the last dash. We're getting it reset now, and good bionade onto Peace. Doesn't realize that the Wrecking Ball is, or doesn't realize that he's low. Also, the Wrecking Ball is low in the back line as well, looking 172, trying to keep them in the side room for the Genji. Trying to turn around, but look behind you, dude. You got a Wrecking Ball on you. Good thing you got a sleep card landing from Prota, who's also got a nano boost, the only ultimate on the board for either team. That nano boost is going to land up on Peace, who's already down to 90 health in the process. Good bionade to slash away. Last hit onto Samchovis, who moved on over to the Genji instead. And Bryant Stratton holding on again.
That's the way they have to look at it at this point, Keegan. One fight, that was disgusting. One fight at a time, that's the only way you can look at it. Because you can't look at it like, hey, we need to hold for 3 minutes. No. One fight, what do we have? What do we think they have? That is the way you have to look at it if you are the Bobcats. And they're in an okay spot. They have Infrasight. They should be able to build up Sound Barrier and Blade relatively soon. So it's not like it's worst case scenario here for BSCBA. For Winthrop, well, that's not a great start to this fight. But they have the minefield and the nano to try and go into this. The mines could be a real issue if BSCBA are not able to clear, because they don't have a Transcendence just to play Minesweeper.
I'm really kind of feeling risky, even drop out for a shot.
They have
there
to at this point, though. They have to.
Yeah, I guess big risk. Got to find the big reward at the end of it. Last time they tried to risk, well, didn't pay off so dearly for them. 5 minutes on the clock to start, 2 minutes this time. Good sleep thrown into Samchovis, who's nano boosted, but it still might not be enough. Infected takes care manually on the dive scenario here. This Widow's just getting picked off time after time again, and the mine's covering the entire golden box. And the big one there is Samchovis taking care of Prota. This looks all but over. They started with 5. They're going to land up winning this with 1 minute and 42 seconds on the clock. Winthrop is 1 away from the madness in May and a top 4 seed.
I think the main issue right now for BSCVA is they are getting caught on those few mistakes. And you cannot make those kind of mistakes against Winthrop. They are going to pick those apart because that is what Coach Wheats has really conditioned this team to do. So, especially when Peace, a lot of the time, would go in maybe just a little bit too deep, maybe not get out exactly when they should, and they get punished for it time and time and time again. And I wonder if there is going to be that hesitation, that change. Looks like Winthrop, they will stick to the Wrecking Ball. I think it can work. It's just maybe a little more difficult to run. But hey, if you're gonna have somebody try it, in fact, it's probably the best tank in NA right now to actually have it work.
Yeah. So Pantera on the Diva as well, looking to see if they can maybe counter or even dive themselves. Not on the Wrecking Ball either. It is going to be the Sojourn versus Sojourn. Peace tried the Widowmaker start, but nothing doing there. We'll switch on over to mirror out Zera on the Genji instead. So there's no way to go off a map on this one unless you're over the map on point 3, but otherwise it's not going to be another athlete fight for the Blades, I wish. But here we go with Bryant Stratton's attack. They did this last time, staying on the same sides here. They've got Zera trapped out a little bit, which means there's no pressure right now from that Genji because of the Diva going right on it. So Manually is able to take care of Samchovis in the backline. Card goes a little bit wide from Ultraviolet, would have been deflected anyways. It's going to be the Disruptor shot, getting Ultraviolet also low alongside of a Bionade. Infected does take care of Zera in the back, but Brigida falling also low inside of this Alderworld Hotel, but let's stick by it so far. First tick already gotten for Bryant Stratton. Good bounty onto Pantera as well. Down to half health. It's going to get out of mech by the hands of Infected here. They do get a point and a half though, but that's not bad. But the problem is you got a tick, and at this point, nothing else. So not bad for a trade, but you waste time.
Yeah, a lot of time gone purely just for a tick. And I think, you know, if it was maybe just, 45 seconds, just a minute, it'd be a little bit easier. But that much time gone already, a minute and a half through, and you only got the one tick. But you do find both DPS dead.
Yeah, one DPS dead for Sam Chovy. Zeros was also gone earlier on as well. So both of the DPS is dead. Infected does have the mines available, but that's a second tick that's going to be gone here. They're just waiting for a re-engage spawn, and here comes Infected to do so. Mines are out, and that's covered all over the point here, but that's also going to be a sleep dart. That's also a slowed sleep dart as well. Infected barely able to get out with just over 100 health. Deflection from Manually on the secondary railgun shot. Zera takes care of Manually just by a swing of the blade, and that is here. 2 minutes left. They get a second tick. All of that. Just only get one more 33%.
Yeah, that's painful. Like that's painful. Nice little deflect there from Zera. They're going to commit the rally. Lyra is able to get the sound barrier down, however. This is ult everywhere.
Yep, ult's getting along everywhere. That's going to be a nano boosted onto Zera from Ultraviolet. Blade is now available at the tail end of this. Zera, though, picks up 3 final blows. Maybe one more for the road here as, well, it's Peace getting one in the meanwhile, and that's onto Infected as well. If I'm Bryant Stratton, this is just green light here because their spawns are so close by. But Pantera's out of mech diving. I think that was all the way into the back of the street space. Zero wins the 1v1 against Peace, so despite having that opportunity, they just fall apart.
Everything just falls apart, and I feel like this Diva on paper can work, right? The Pantera Diva against the Wrecking Ball. You're trying to peel for your backline, but also trying to help Peace initiate these dives. It's just not working, Keegan. So far, it has not worked at all, but you could argue it's too late. It's too late to try and change anything up. You have to commit.
Yeah, and basically with the perks as well, trying to work with what you got here. These perks help you, but also Winthrop has them at the same time. They're deflected again, and that's onto the head this time. Manually's head rolls off by the hands of a Genji deflect. Don't shoot into it, folks. That's never a great idea. Peace has a blade available, almost up to another tick at about 86, or not at 86%, just over 66%. East does win the 1v1 against Zera, though, so again, BSC have the green light. Can you get their sleep dart on? It's going to be the overclock from Sam Joey's here. Infected, bionated out, and will hold on for a little while. That thing pierces through shield, but are they going to be able to find a shot here? Sam Joey's got 20 health and gets the mega health back as well, but instead chasing them down, and Set's going to win that fight. Liar takes care of Pantera, though, so you do not have a tank anymore, and on the way back is Infected. It's a boostio here from Liar, and on from Ultraviolet to see if you can hold on here. It is 95%, 5% away from that tick. Blade pulls out from Peace. Peace versus Zera. Zera doesn't have enough fight. Mines are on the floor as well. Don't C9 this too, guys. It's overtime. Right. Don't dash into the mines either. You don't want to do that, but that's okay. They still get the point. Breathe, BSC. You got it.
What? That is, oof. Yeah, it was a little rough there for Peace, but like, hey, might as well make sure you can tell the PTSD hit, like, hey, we cannot C9. No C9, no C9. They eventually spread the fight out enough. You almost have to have the same game plan as Winthrop, right? You have to spread it out. It has been so hard to try and actually, A, catch Ultraviolet off guard, but to also finish that kill because the sleeps and the antis have been on point, but they're eventually starting to get that really starting to roll.
Wow, name before the defense matrix comes up and Infected for Peace. I mean, Peace has been good all series long for you if you're BSC. Using him early on in a fight is not ideal. However, it is a sleep dart on, and it's going to be strike from Proto with an auto boost also onto Pantera as well. And this is going to be a sound barrier invested, but that sound barrier is not in time for Ultraviolet to stay alive. Instead, it's Liar that's going to have to run away for the team here. They can dive this, but man, that sound barrier has gone to waste.
Still have the rally, you still have the self-destruct to try and play around. And also, BSC could be able to start snowballing this a little bit, especially with that kind of punish.
And the Infected having that much health, they can still do a 3-2-1 on the sleep dart is insane to think about here. Only a couple of meters left. They're going to bet on a nano blade here that gets stunned out by the rally, but Zera's still in your backline. The rally is up to try to counteract that good bounty, but it's still not going to be enough for Proto to stay alive. They do take care of it though. Zera and Ultraviolet both going down. final 3 meters. They can still contest this with the 3 people they have left on point. Infected is there, Liar is there, Samchovi's there as well. They're going to dive onto Liar, though, who had the last chance of the touch before Infected does. Infected falling also low, does get the pile driver off, but it's not going to be enough. Not even the overhealth, not even the shield, not even bouncing around from side to side. BSC live to see a second point.
And they're able to finally see that last phase. Zera does get punished as well. Self-destruct not needed from Pantera to try and stall this one out. Infected, they do eventually get off the wrecking ball. The Winston now the play for this final phase of the map to try and challenge Pantera and manually up on this high ground. And Pantera, they don't really care at this point. They know they have the heals. They can kind of just chill up here. Like it's a kind of just an awkward camping trip up on that high ground.
By the way, that's a great Bionade that came out from Ultraviolet again. That was onto Set, and Set had nothing to do but wait for inevitable doom. But that's traded out for Samchovi, so not quite home stretch territory yet. Hasn't reached the final turnpike. But now it's going to be the nano boost. Peace has the blade. No sleeps are there. That's off the mark. Peace finds one and might find another on the swing onto Liar. That's both of the supports down. Looking for a third. Won't find it. Dashes away. But now Halo's in the home stretch. Jesse, this is the farthest they've been.
Yeah, this is the best they've looked today. And they're able to get the stagger. Everybody's trying to push out that left door. And they still have the self-destruct. They want to try and pop it. Samchovi's the overclock forces it out.
Forces it out. Self-destruct also forced out at the same time. Samchovi's gets the headshot before Pantera can land back into the neck. 40 seconds left. If you're BSC, you either get out of dodge or you gotta hope for a miracle. But it's gonna be they gotta get out. They have to get out. But still, I don't think find Samchovi's. I mean, if the spawn room, I know they're not gonna work out in their time. They might get a fight here still. 20 seconds left to go. They're not chancing it right now. They're just hoping around the corners.
No, I don't think you can. Pantera, they go over to the Maga. This is a pure, hey, we need to mess up this Winston. There you go. Rush in. It works so far, but the Nano keeps infected up.
He's infected up right now. Big Bionade off the piece and manually too. Ultraviolet's been cooking. Blade still in the backline. Zero's not going to find anything with it. In fact, also gets Bionade in themselves too. Sits on the Mega just to look at anything here, but the overtime clock starts to run here. Bryant Stratton losing members, though Pantera is gone. And still, they will not be able to touch any longer. Bryant Stratton had the light at the end of the tunnel, but Winthrop shuts the tunnel down. They get 2 points, 64.7 meters, the farthest they've been. They were counting Circuit Royale as well. But Winthrop looking at May Madness point.
May Madness point, Texas qualification point here for Winthrop. As the Nano at the end there from Ultraviolet goes on Azera, he can kind of just go do his own thing. The newest member of this Winthrop side replacing Tree, and he's done a pretty dang good job, I will say, so far of having to replace Tree in this lineup. But BSVA, I would say it's the most winnable it has looked so far, right? It's the most winnable it's been. I do think Peace is playing a little smarter on the Genji now. They're not going in as aggressively by themselves as either they have Pantera with them or they're almost like faking it out. We've seen it a few times now. They're kind of juke and like, hey, I'm going in, and they'll bait out whether it be the sleep or the boop, or reflect, whatever. And then he goes in. And I think he's at least getting smarter with that play during the rest of the series. But the big thing for BSCVA is just continuing. You got to find some momentum. Infected going to, for now, stay on the Winston. We'll see if he actually does, but if that is the case, I do think it actually puts BSC in a half-decent position, but so far, man, we've said it a lot. Ultraviolet's nuts on the Honor right now. These nades are winning them fight after fight after fight.
Yeah, again, to a cool skill. I may need the our observer. I will need the replay coach just to watch what the Ana does, because this Ultraviolet Ana has been insane to watch thus far. We'll switch on over to the Brigitte instead for Liar. No sleep dart lands there, so, or actually no, manually does get stuck in the process. They're just going to dive on it manually, but it's able to power slide away, so it is a clean fight thus far. Violet already up to 54% here, trying to get it over on Crota. Meanwhile, Peace on the backline is able to take care of Ultraviolet. This time, no Bionade available, so they're able to just dive right on into the backline. This D.Va's falling oh so low, but this D.Va going to get back to the rest of the team, and Peace is still finding ways to get into the backline. Samchovi's in a whole lot of trouble here if they land up that last shot. Samchovi's does, and Peace is gone for the fight.
Yeah, still a decent fight win there for BSCVA. They understand, like, hey, we need to target Ultraviolet. It's just easier said than done a lot of the time. And they are punishing. Look at that. Pantera goes in, but they are now in a really awkward spot, and they will get D-Max.
It's not a bad spot, though, unless you have the Winston, of course, on the other end of it, because you were above, and not really a lot of people can get there, but you had a Genji and a Winston, so that's just unfortunate. Zero getting that final blow means that they do not have a tank for this fight. They're probably going to give up at least 1 tick, maybe even 2 in this case. They don't even step on the point, though. That lapse would be pretty detrimental if this D.Va does come back into play, but looks like, fortunately for Winthrop, ESC have no intention of coming back into the fight. This will be first tick, this will be second. Do they try for a third? No, they just get all 3 ticks for it.
I thought maybe for a second, if Proto was able to build up Nano in time, they could have went in, but never mind. Proto's dead, so that would also eliminate that from being a possibility. Look at this. Again, they're going to try and push for the staggers here, try and gain so much free real estate, but everybody from BSVA just back on out. And just because of the fact that, hey, you lose Pantera so early, Winthrop understand that. The peel is not there. At BSVA, they understand, hey, we cannot make big mistakes, and they're just going to play it safe and really risk it all here in the streets phase.
Yeah, and they're going to be in a position where they can play around at least this one corner here by the bookstore, but Sarah's going to go for the long way around, go for the scenic route, and take care of the background. Sarah's falling a little low, already has a slow piece like this to get out of the spot. Nana boosted blade is out. And that's going to go on to Peace, who has slept for the remainder of the duration of this blade, and also is going to get shot down and whip-shotted by Liar at the same time, too. Ultraviolet's been on fire all series long. Liar's going to help this out with 3 final blows. Set used the rally. That's huge. Bryant Stratton. Oh, they're not going to like this.
Yeah, you can see Set just kind of sat there. It's like, man, that kind of blows. that was, I don't know if it was a misclick or just like kind of a misread of where the fight was at that point. They were trying to save Proto, but not able to. And again, look at this. Another opening pick onto manually, this time from Sanchovi's. Yeah, this is Streets Phase done.
Yeah, this is over. They even pull out the
my
blade
God.
just for the exclamation mark. Europe finds 1, 2, 3, and 4. Slash dash away goes the Genji, guaranteed another 90.
And that might have just been the icing on the cake here for Winthrop. BSV, they're going to make some late changes, but they used everything. Manually used the overclock. They get killed during blade, and with the blade from Zera. So they go over to the Widow to maybe try and like pull up some pop factor here, but this is just getting out of control, Keegan.
Yeah, they're not even going to they can still put up 1 fight here. Set's able to shield bash Zero, but the damage was already done. I mean, 4:51 on the clock. It would need to take everything in the tank. BSC has to hold on. Now remember, back on the second point of Circuit Royale, they were able to hold on for what was 3 minutes and 18 seconds. But to stay alive in the series, they need to do it for 4 minutes and 51. And now with 4 minutes left to go on the clock, the fight continues on here. Infected falling low. Let's see if they can dive right on into the back line, but both bubble shields will go down, and it's Pantera falling also low. You don't have a Primal Rage there. You needed to get out, but you didn't have a chance to get out either. Liar's going to go ahead and take the kill on the Proto as well. This looks done unless ESC can find a way to make a big comeback. They do have a Nano Boost. Nano Boost is going to go on to Pantera, who needs to make do with something out of it, but it is not even going to matter. They do not even get a touch on, and Winthrop will go back to main madness for the 2nd straight time.